Let me bring in Hajia Yakubu. A lot has been said about the dearth of women in this prospective cabinet. What are your thoughts about the women who have been screened so far?
Well, I think the president is doing okay. There is no law that compels a leader to work or choose the people that he's not comfortable with, that he does not share his views, that he doesn't trust. He has gone to do his homework and bring up these people that we are seeing so far. So the women that he has chosen, I believe in my president. I trust his judgment, and I think he's doing okay. And the people so far going through the screening, I think we are comfortable with him and with his choice, and we are comfortable with them. I know there are so many people who are, worried about the fact that we don't have many women. I will still, plead with them to exercise patience, because, the president is sensitive to women agenda, and we still have more position to fill, and he is not going to forget women, because we take a larger position. We were in the forefront during the election, so he is aware, and he is just trying to, take his time.
Okay, I think Hajia is on hold there. We'll try and get back to her. But now let's come back to the studio. We are trying to set agenda this morning for the incoming ministers. Some people have said it's not the best of times for anybody to be minister now, because we see dwindling financial strength of the country, and on the back of the oil prices. What do you think that these ministers coming in should have at the back of their minds in taking up these positions?
I think I think it's very glaring to all that it's not going to be business as usual. I know that some people believe that when somebody is a minister, it's an opportunity to have a first share of the national cake, and also maybe compensate those who assisted him to get the office, like those they call their political godfathers, those who nominated them, and so on and so on. And I think this is not the best of time for those who are investors in ministerial positions. Because and this is the best time to also know those who are really capable, who have the zeal, who are patriotic, truly patriotic. And when things are bad, when morale is so low, when the economy is in tatters, this is time now to have tested and to have those who have the magic touch, those who have the knowledge, who can make things happen. And I think there are some of them in that team. And I hope they also know that failure is not an option. It's not an option.
Yes.
Because if anything happens at this point in Nigeria's life, recovery may be very, very difficult, if not impossible. If it will come, it will take a longer time at a longer cost. Mm-hmm. So I would say that as they are coming in, they should expect that they are coming to work and work, so that those who are lazy, those who are incompetent, they will soon be exposed. And they should know that we are watching. Nigerians are watching. Indeed. Any opportunity to begin to shout, to remove him, we will shout.
Yeah, I think Hajia is back. Hajia Yakubu is back in our Abuja studios. You've heard him. We want people that will work. No more excuses. What would you want the ministers? Yes, they don't have the portfolios yet, but in terms of making sure that whatever ministry they get, what should they think about such ministries?
The network was somehow, so I couldn't hear exactly what the gentleman said, only at the last sentence, which I am for, is that the people have the power this time. We have a very wonderful president who is listening to the people. These new ministers, they know they are not going to have it easy. They have to do what is right. because the citizens are out there, we are watching, we have the power. At any point in time that they are not doing what they are supposed to be doing, we will shout, he said. We are going to shout, and not only shout, we will all come out and make sure that they remove him. Things will work this time. We just have to work with the president, and let's see how the agenda can go through.
What would you want them to do differently? What would you want them to do differently from where we're coming from?
Absolutely. The due process.
Okay.
I think we lost the connection again.
We're back in the studio in Lagos, and I'd like to ask Comrade Ajaero. We're just hazarding guesses as to where each of those nominees could be. Do you think that if the names were sent alongside the portfolios, would it have aided their screening, and would it also have aided Nigerians?
Yeah, I think that should have been the best option. But like he said, that's the list of Mr. President. And even coming from a party that controls majority, you know, ordinarily there should have probably been a small committee to look at maybe petitions or whatever, and they just come and read it and adopt it. Okay, but if they had, you know, attached portfolio to them, it should have enabled us, you know, to know where they are going. For instance, I don't think I've seen anybody in the list that I will tell you that can handle the labor ministry very well. Yeah, from their antecedents, from their background, without apology. You know, and then if you bring any other person there that doesn't understand the psychology of the labor people, then definitely he must take another 1 year or two to learn. And I don't think we are ready for a learning process now in terms of ministerial appointment. I wouldn't take only
Nigerians are not patient anymore. They've lost their patience.
I have checked all of them. You know,
okay, what about the power sector, which is your forte?
The power sector, in terms of the antecedents, I have not seen. But in terms of probably qualification of some people, maybe academic qualification, yes. You know, maybe 1 or 2. I'm not here to say it, but I have seen maybe 1 or 2. But in terms of, you know, being a driver, you know, working in the sector, experience or whatever, I have not seen. Now, if somebody had that qualification, paper qualification, if he's able to match it immediately, you know, the person assumes office, fine. But let me say this, like many people have mentioned on the capacity of Mr. President, I want to agree with them. I don't even think there is much work to be done. Now, never. If Mr. President decides not to award any contract in the power sector, the power sector will grow. If he decides to ensure that the contracts awarded already are executed, Nigeria will be having almost 20,000 megawatts. And this is one thing I want him to do. I don't want him to go into an award of contracts or whatever. I want him to make sure that the ones awarded are executed. So that alone, you discover that whether money or no money, you know, will be able to do a lot. But if it doesn't have that willpower, you know, if the people that have maybe bought the past sector are ready to go in there and, you know, deceive him, let me use that word, then we will remain where we are. The same thing with even the oil sector. And I'm not joking. You know, it's like the agitation of labor for increase in wages, whatever. If we continue to increase tariff, increase fuel price, increase house rent, that agitation will continue. Assuming these things come down tomorrow, I will tell you that those of us in the movement will equally think that, look, why don't we allow it here? Since when you look at the cost of living index, you know, we can still cope. But if these things continue to rise as a result of people handling it, then there will be agitation. So in terms of the ministerialists, capable people, intelligent people, we know their pedigree, but I think that some sectors, you know, there are still people, you know, that we are lacking.
Yeah, and looking at, of course, every ministry is very important. Yeah. You see that some would seem to be more important than others. Yeah. Now, let's look at the economy. I'm directing this question to Mr. Omale now. We all know that we have issues with finances right now. So whoever the Minister of Finance will be, or coordinating minister for the economy, shouldn't come with the talk about no money. how do we make sure that a lot has been said about diversification of the economy, for instance, and year in, year out, policymakers talk about this, but not so much is done about it. What do you think should be done in that area?
All right. I share with all of us that Nigeria are way out of the pension zone, and we are committed to see this government work. We all share the experience of the past, wherein government will come out with economic policy, and then the implementation are just at par with themselves, and they are not translating to better Nigeria for the Nigerians, and that called for great concern. Now, what Nigeria expects from this government, whosoever amongst the ministerial nominee that will be assigned the portfolio to oversee the economy, is to evolve a very practical and realistic economic policy that have direct bearing to the people of Nigeria, and the policy that will be self-driven from the perspective of our comparative advantage.